Are you ready to take control of your wealth and design the life you envision for yourself and your family? Welcome to Wealth of Insight with Austyn Whittenburg from Whittenburg Wealth Partners. Austyn guides you through the entire planning process to help you build a plan that seeks to protect your financial future. He empowers you with creative investment opportunities and planning ideas to help you understand and achieve your long-term goals. It's time to gain confidence in your financial future. Now, on to the show.
Welcome back to the Wealth of Insight podcast. I'm your host, Austyn Whittenburg. Today, we're going to be talking about a few ways that you can incorporate unexpected cash into your financial plan. Now, certainly nobody's going to turn down free money. It's always nice to receive unexpected inflows of cash, whether that may be a bonus or executive compensation, something along those lines through work. Maybe there's an inheritance that you weren't expecting that comes through. We've seen clients who receive insurance settlements because of accidents or other things. There's a number of ways that this money can find its way at your doorstep. We really want to make sure that you're prepared to make the best financial decisions when you receive an influx of cash like that. So let's talk through a few different options and some general rules of thumb here. So, we generally subscribe, at least I generally subscribe to what I call the 50-50 rule. I don't know that I named it that, it's a pretty common thing, but when these unexpected inflows of cash come, we like to think, hey, let's take 50% and have a little bit of fun today, 50% that we're taking to plan for tomorrow. Now, obviously that percentage may depend on exactly how big the unexpected cash flow is. There's a number of things that go into that as well as your personal situation. So I've also seen people break that down a little bit more, where it's 50% for needs, things like paying down credit cards or other debts, that type of stuff, 20% for fun, and then 30% for long-term goals, long-term investing. So, depending again upon your situation, one of those two rules is going to work out best for you. And that at least helps give a general framework for, okay, I got this unexpected cash, this inflow, I won the lottery, right? What am I going to do now? So the first thing we like to do with clients is to take a look at their emergency fund, right? Again, some more general rules of thumb you've all heard, I'm sure, the 3 to 6 months of expenses or something like that, right? Depending again upon your situation. So with this unexpected cash, it may make sense to top that off to get that to the level that makes you feel the most comfortable. Now, we've all seen during the last few years with inflation, holding too much cash isn't always the answer. So, we want to make sure we balance that. But topping off the emergency fund can be a really great strategy just to give you that comfortability and the peace of mind knowing that, hey, I've got some emergency cash there if we need car repairs or, whatever it may be. Number two, as I mentioned a little bit earlier, would be looking at, maybe the credit cards have gotten too high or I have any balance at all on my credit cards. Maybe let's knock out some of those credit cards or debts, things that are going to help lighten the financial burden here in the short term. Depending on the type of inflow that you get, if it's a bonus or something from work, there's going to be tax consequences to that. And depending on the type of inheritance, again, there can be some tax that will be owed. So another smart strategy to consider would be to top off some of your retirement accounts. Maybe you increase saving in your 401k for a few months to compensate for that, to offset the taxes, or fund an IRA, or even look at a Roth IRA. The Roth IRA, as we've discussed before, is not going to help you with tax today, but can be a really great long-term strategy as it grows tax-free and you take the money out without tax in the future. So with some of these unexpected inflows of cash, it can be a really great idea to take advantage of some of those opportunities from an investment perspective. Right? That fits into the 50% sort of long-term bucket. We still want to make sure that people are having a little bit of fun today as well. So that's the next one on the list, is to look at your bucket list. What are some things on your bucket list? And does this inflow of cash provide you with the ability to knock off one or two of those items, right? You can't take this money with you when you die. And so we want to make sure clients are having a little bit of fun today. So it can be really helpful actually to talk with us, and we using our financial planning software and getting to know your situation, we can show you the impacts of, okay, we take this 50% and this is for long term. Here's where we're at. And that can give you the peace of mind to spend that other 50% on some of the fun that you want to have, some of those bucket list items. Another thing that depending on the size can make a really big impact would be to pay down or pay off your mortgage, right? So now one of the things that's worth considering here as you're looking at taking a big chunk out of your mortgage is that's not going to help on a month-to-month basis from your payment, right? It doesn't change your payment if you take a big chunk off the mortgage. It's just going to shorten the length of the loan, which can be really impactful. You're saving a lot of interest by doing that. But don't be surprised when you take that chunk off the mortgage and the actual monthly payment doesn't change. The only way to get that to change would be to refinance. And given where interest rates are right now, it's not something we would typically recommend. But taking a big chunk and putting it down on a mortgage can make a lot of sense because it shortens the life of the loan, really reduces the amount of interest that you pay over time, and can make a really big impact. It's not likely that there's any penalties or issues with prepaying your loan, but you would want to check with your mortgage company just to make sure that you're not going to cause any problems by paying a large chunk down on your mortgage. The last thing to consider here would be donating to charity, right? When we have an unexpected windfall, you may want to turn around and bless the lives of others as well. So if there's causes or things that are important to you, I think donating to charity is a great use of some of that money. And again, it can help you on the tax side. So depending on the taxation of this inheritance or of this unexpected inflow of cash, donating to charity can help you do some good in your community, but also help you from a tax standpoint. So, there was just a few strategies to consider. Which ones you use or which ones are going to be best for you is certainly going to depend on your own financial situation. And that's something we can help add color to or add some context to as you're thinking about making these decisions. So if that's something you feel like you need help with, or you want to have a game plan for what do I do with unexpected inflows of cash, please reach out. You can find us at our website, www.whittenburgwealth.com, or you can text us at 801-839-7056. Please remember to like and subscribe to the Wealth of Insight podcast and share with your friends and family.
Thank you for listening to the Wealth of Insight podcast. Click the subscribe button below to be notified when new episodes become available. Securities offered through LPL Financial, member FINRA SIPC. Investment advice offered through Stratos Wealth Partners, a registered investment advisor. Stratos Wealth Partners and Whittenburg Wealth Partners are separate entities from LPL Financial. The information covered and posted represents the views and opinions of the guest and does not necessarily represent the views or opinions of Whittenburg Wealth Partners. The content has been made available for informational and educational purposes only. The content is not intended to be a substitute for professional investing advice. Always seek the advice of your financial advisor or other qualified financial service provider with any questions you may have regarding your investment planning.